choose my words carefully because I know that words do have power, and I'm cautious on how I do particular things when it comes down to where I see things going in terms of gold and silver, quote unquote, price for the buying power of our silver internationally, in terms of what we can acquire off our fiscal budget laws. I was saying literally 2 Earth days ago um, that would see the quote unquote gold price eventually make its way to 2,900 and change and push its way towards 3,000. I spoke to the issue the worthless paper of 2,900 being the next target that would be hit. And I said, all right, maybe around the spring equinox event, on New Year, if you would, or into the mid to late spring, looking to be conservative about particular things. Within a matter of hours, it hit 2,900. Literally yesterday, it hit 29.50 for about 5 minutes. It is racing towards 3,000 worth of piece of paper for 1 ounce of gold. It dropped back down because, of course, some of that was speculators and they were doing some profit taking. However, there is a lot of discontinuity across the planet as globalization actually breaks down. You're seeing GDPs for particular entities across the planet decreasing for some of them multiple years in a row. You're seeing the auto glut right now, and you literally have parties who they front loaded particular things to avoid tariffs, and now there's no orders to be produced, so manufacturers are under pressure. You're going to see layoffs in manufacturing as a consequence of things don't find a way to balance out. Because there is, again, no consumption, no demand. Here we go with that again. You can expect that that's probably going to be a hard proposition. Demand is not there, so all that supply is going to sit. And as it sits being unbought, untraded, quote unquote, sold, you're going to have consequences on that one. And those consequences have ripple effects out, which means more consequences. Manufacturers that get laid off or fired. Those who rely on those manufacturer laborers spending funds to consume their products or their services, or go to their restaurants, or buy their video games, or participate in things online where there's transactions to be made. Any good product or service that requires folks to consume them are going to find folks are spending less. Earnings go down. As earnings go down, some businesses are going to be wiped out. Some are zombies right now, about to be wiped out. If you are a business, you have to look at your bottom line here, what your unit costs are going to be looking like. If your landmass relies heavily on digging resources and shipping those raw materials to where they're being manufactured into finished product, well, if there's less demand for the manufactured product, there's going to be less demand for the natural resources. And if your commerce and trade abilities are limited and you're primarily relying on those exports, those raw materials, but you don't have any finished goods that you produce yourself for internal and for external availability, in other words, this is a global mess. And those that play the non-substance game are reaping the whirlwind, and it's just really getting started. I know that numerically it started 2 Earth years ago in terms of when you saw those quote-unquote banks, the so-called internet banks like Signal and the other one, when you saw those go down, that was the beginning of what you're seeing now. And we've been explaining it to everyone for all these Earth years and telling everyone also over the Earth years. If you engage in a non-substance-based economy, if you're engaging in credit, if you're engaging in any of those things that's tied back to usury in one form or another, you're on borrowed time. Well, now things are coming home to roost. That borrowed time is about out. So the opening question is always going to be, in my mind, where exactly are the quote-unquote Pan-Africanists and the quote-unquote Moorish in this? And why have they chosen to take that particular position? 9 times out of 9, none of them can articulate a plan. We're working our plans, and we show better than we tell. Because fortunately, we don't have a non-substance-based economy within the Amexem-Moor-Empire. Our constitution does not allow it. Fortunately, we are a substance-based commerce and trade jurisdiction and venue. And now, while others are reaping the whirlwind, for us, there's opportunity.